So I had to do a little research on this before we got here because I wanted to make sure I understood what this meant. Should CIG sponsored events be protected? On Saturday, the CIG sponsored event held by Knebel DE, or Nabel DE, I think is kind of confirmed how to say it for me from some of my German members. And the German Star Citizen community was interrupted with over 1,500 people watching. All right. Let's break down just the first sentence because already it's ridiculous, right? The title and the first sentence are insane. I had to do a little bit of research, and the only thing I could find by CIG sponsored was This Week in Star Citizen, which is hilarious because the comm links back to back were This Week in Star Citizen. So literally nothing happened in the matter of a week. This Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. at UTC, 7 a.m. Pacific, Nabel and the Starhead Federation in our German community will exhibit all vehicles that kept the Star Citizen's economy running. What economy? Trading, mining, salvage, exploration, and more. Visit the rooftops of ArcCorp 17, so they say where they're going to be. I'm not 100% sure, but ArcCorp 17, I believe, is not an armistice zone. So we're already just doing great here. Experience air cab service, take part in the guided ship tours and interactive games to earn points, and get a chance to win a Drake Vulture with lifetime insurance. You can also watch the event live at Nabel TV. Cool. All right. So endorsed, promoted, does not mean sponsored. Sponsored means CIG paid for the event, and will probably do something to make the event run smoother. They did not. Okay. Same goes with Atmo Esports, right? Which is the thing below it. I don't think they're paying for any of these things. Now, the amount of people watching is also irrelevant to what CIG sponsored events don't exist. Right? And then if we separate events that streamers and friends are doing, right? Click the org poster. Oh, he's literally in GrieferNet. Okay, great. So, these guys are actually they're such trolls, dude. They're getting everything they want. This is so fucking funny. It's like an excuse to post the video and stuff. I find this to be hilarious, okay? This is so good, right? Because it's just to rile everyone up. It makes it even better, right? So now it makes it, but the thing is this is like, oh my God, I got burned too. This is so funny because this is a perfect Star Citizen streamer fanboy post. It's like they used ChatGPT and a bunch of information from previous streamer fanboy posts. It's so fucking good, right? CIG lost a lot of potential advertisement because of these griefers. Should the type of streamer events be afforded special privileges? These posts happen. So it's so funny that this is what was posted. No, these things should not happen. And that's kind of the point of NMOS making this post, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Area 17 is not a protected location. There's no armistice there, correct? So already these are just really stupid ideas right from the beginning. Streamers deserve zero privilege from CIG. They already get a ton. It's the same argument with concierge, thinking they deserve more things than they already do with testing access when most of them aren't testing in the first place. Not even most. A significant portion of them aren't even testing in the first place. They're just looking at a ship, never making a issue council report, and then leaving. So it's the same concept here. Streamers are doing streamer things. They're enjoying their communities. Nabel's community is not my community. Burke's community, well, is somewhat. We do share a lot of members, but we're all just doing our own thing, right? And the idea that anything is that of privileges that we already have, it's insane. Okay. We should not have any additional privileges than we already have, right? We get ships to give away. Sometimes they shout us out. things like that, right? We get plenty. What more do you want streamers in the Star Citizen space to get? You know what I would like? Do you know what I think CIG should do for Star Citizen streamers? Make the fucking game. Maybe make some content for us to play instead of, you know, taking an entire week off to go hang out at Gamescom or something like that, right? Like it is so hard to look at everything they're doing right now at this time and be okay with any of it. Like, oh, we're gonna hang out with the community at Gamescom because we got nothing else to do, and it's like, damn, dude. It's streamers just sitting here scrounging for content for 10 years, and yeah, that it would be cool if they like develop the game. That's about where I'm at. Overall, I don't now I can't tell, like, because of who made the post, if you know if any of this is like brigaded or what's going on here, but it looks like most people are on the same side as me. When it comes to these things, they've taken the stance already with stream sniping. Not for me to figure out. Chris seems to think they can instance away people that keep the doing things to people, so we'll see when server meshing comes further along. Ah, yes, I remember this. Do we think this will happen? Oh, come on. Seriously? Yeah, like shadow banning shards. Here, we'll do this. Will that do it? There we go.
Who asks, can you explain what kind of behavior would be seen as
Spectrum.
Star Citizen? You mentioned putting griefers into instances together, but what behavior would flag you for that, and would that behavior eventually get you banned? Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, you know, the typical griefing is what you don't want to have happen is someone just spending their whole time harassing the new players that don't quite understand how to play yet or the system and taking advantage of them. So, like, for instance,
Nabel is not a new player. So, you know, that's one thing. He's like the most prominent Star Citizen streamer, period, at this point, right? But, and I think made a lot of bad choices with this event.
If someone was hanging, you know, right on the edge of the green zone, and when a new player flies out, say in Crusader, and they just blast them to bits, and they keep doing that, that would be kind of griefing. You know, if someone deliberately...
Nabel commented below the post. We'll check it out.
On the landing pad in the green zone in Crusader, that would be kind of griefing. In the bigger game, in the final game, we're going to...
the final game, guys.
Set up this whole idea of bounties, and when you've been doing sort of antisocial behavior, and
it's max volume. This is as loud as it can go.
Controlled space. If you just attack someone, especially if you continue to do it, it's likely that your ID code is going to get broadcast, and then at that point, there's a bounty on your head, and not only will NPCs go after you, but now there is authorized PvP on you. So what will happen is, if you engage in that, you'll be fighting NPCs and other players that will not have a penalty for now going after you. So we're hoping that a few systems like that will help with making the whole system not encourage people to sort of troll beginning players. We're still going to work on that. It's obviously stuff we've got ideas that we're going to put in. We're going to try to, I guess, adjust depending on what's happening. And
again, a very big focus on beginning players.
Just go from there. I mean, and you know, as far as behavior getting banned, I mean, if we note someone that like they continually grief, then that would probably be something that would be part of their player record, and then part of the matchmaking could be potentially, well, let's just put people that grief in the same instance with each other so they could just grief each other. And I think, you know, there's kind of other elements that we can do in that case to...
That's idiotic. I mean, do I think GrieferNet people should be banned? I think they're really finding the line, potentially. I don't think anything that they've done deserves bans yet, that I'm aware of, at least. I think that they've done some like server hopping and chasing people, which I think is where the line is being crossed, probably. But other than that, I don't think so at all. You know, it's a game, and it's an open world game with PvP in it, and the stand system is pretty open. I don't know what other systems will be like, but I think that it
not encouraged.
That's the way it is. Ask Arc VR about how far they go. I mean, ask Arc VR about how many times a day he mentions them. right? Like ask Arc VR how much he's stoking the fire as well, right? Like all I ever see from Arc VR is commentary about him or him paying a bunch of money for streamers to say things about Star Citizen or something, right? Like I haven't seen like those videos are awesome, and then I've seen these videos like the Griefernet things, and I don't watch them, but I just see the thumbnails of them because I find this conversation to be so stupid, incredibly stupid. It comes down to so many problems with this game and this person and a lot of the choices that they've made and nothing to do with the players. They've given the tools to the players to continuously do this shit. You know, server lists, server numbers, you know, no queues and all this stuff.
Behavior, let me put it that way. I mean, we definitely want people to be pirates. We do not want to prevent PvP in the places where PvP can or should happen, but we don't want people just harassing other people to hurt their game experience for the lols, so to speak. And that's always difficult because this happens in every MMO, and so we're going to try our best. And not sure that we've necessarily got always the right solutions, but we got some ideas that I think are pretty good, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I think that is where we are now. Is they've tried these solutions. Putting bounties on people's heads or saying that some places are for PvP and some are not. I mean, let's look at Star Citizen. 99% of the area of the game is open for PvP, where a very small percentage is not. So that's not necessarily the right solution. But I think that that's something that's very clear to be said as well, is some areas are not meant for it, but they haven't done anything about it. If you can't hear the video, there's not much I can do. It is maximum volume, right? It's maximum on YouTube and it's maximum on my thing. But sorry, can't hear the video because it's paused. So now, I can't believe this still hasn't even played yet. So that's funny. Let's mute it in case it does. And on the contrary, those opportunities for people on stream and others to join and repel the intruders, which is why the Daymar Rally has a whole security team, which is, I don't know, it's a security team because it's never really worked. Nabel answered, I think the answer is relatively simple. If CIG wants to have big events, they have to support them as long as the game can't do it itself. Did CIG come to you and say that I want this for you to do this event? Because I don't know about you guys, is I post that I'm doing like an org op on my title and say, I'm doing this org op. It's obviously not as big as something Nabel's doing, but I'm putting it out there that things are happening. But we all we have our ship out in the middle of nowhere, not able to be quantum 2. We have ships that are not flying to any locations that can be jumped to, right? Like when we do things, we're taking precautions. So one day, hopefully we'll have a better law system, long-term consequences, and other systems that automatically prevent or severely limit griefing. Yep. But he bolds the thing that, like, if you want me to do events, then you need to support me. And it's like, bro, your ego is sticking out really fucking far. Of course, players are encouraged to organize their own security for their own events, but this video shows a special form of griefing, which I call industrial griefing. Oh, okay. We're making up names now. Here, there is a clear agreement on griefing and stream sniping. This has nothing to do with normal PvP, piracy, or anything else. It is simply excessive griefing. These players get an unfair advantage because the event is streamed live. Okay, and thus violate the TOS of Star Citizen. Accordingly, it would be fair if the streamer gets some compensation. For example, a little help from CIG employee who monitors the event and intervenes in case of an emergency. Oh, now we should pay CIG employees. We should pay CIG employees to then protect you at the event. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with absolutely not. Okay? And then on top of that, Yeah, I saw it in chat. If you're streaming to 1,500 people and the event is the most important thing, run it on a delay. Like at this point, you have all the tools. You have all the tools to not have your event get griefed, and you didn't use any of them. You didn't use any of them. Is there an armistice zone at Area 17? If there is not an armistice zone at Area 17, you made the mistake from the start. Okay? You made a mistake from the very beginning. Yeah, it's your fault, victim. You wore the wrong Star Citizen clothes. Are we defending this right now? You have to make the right choices. The CIG does give you the tools to avoid being attacked. You go to places where you can't quantum travel to. You go to places that aren't marked, right? You keep your friend list clear. You fill servers so other people can't get in them, right? Yeah, I did somebody just compare this to that? Yeah, so just because you stream the event, now all of a sudden it's a violation of TOS, which is not the case. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to prove stream sniping. Was it Twitter sniping? Because you told me it was going to be at Area 17 at this time. So I go to Area 17 and I hop servers until I find you. Is that stream sniping? It might have been X or Twitter sniping, right? Was it Spectrum sniping? Because CIG announced it. So there's so many problems here, dude. And like, yes, I get the point of like, you wanted to run this event and you thought that it was going to be cool, and then it wasn't because Star Citizen sucks. Like, you want things to be better. Everybody wants the game to be better than it is, but you have to accept that it's not, right? And then everybody praises people that runs events like these, and then the people who run them cry when it doesn't work in their favor because the game is too open and allows players to do things. This is why, and I've gotten a lot of hate for this, and I don't give a shit. Terra, places like Terra need to be completely armistice. The city and maybe a little bit around it. Okay? That's it. Not the whole system. The whole system should be like somebody attacks you, you get jumped on. In my opinion, the whole system should be when you get there, security jumps on you and tells you to power your weapons down and remove your weapons, things like that. I think like I would like to see things like that. I think that would be better because honestly, it's a star system that is incredibly safe. You would expect there to be actual like in-lore reasons for it to be safe. If everybody's like flying around with guns on around a location like Terra, or even like as you're approaching a New Babbage or something like that. I don't get it. You could have done an event like this at New Babbage, I feel like. So maybe they were mining rocks or something, who knows. But I think there were some really bad choices here. All right. But the most important thing is that CIG bans these players from the game. I do think that from everything that I'm seeing that I do understand about these GrieferNet guys, but I will say I probably know very little, is that they are coming up to the line or are crossing it with targeted harassment, which I do believe is a measurable offense and we should start seeing players banned from the game for that. That is where I'm at, is if you come to an event and launch some bombs at it, it kind of is what it is for now. I think CIG does need to support star systems that are a little bit more chill, where maybe the content that's there is very low end in terms of money making, but also low end in terms of risk. No combat really, but maybe more like mining and trading and salvaging or whatever, right? Just some simple stuff. But yeah, true. Their aim was to harass, not to pirate. Well, I think we're getting into the semantics of things. Piracy is if you're trying to make money off of it. They're going into it to PK. Is how I look at it. But if you're going to PK certain people and specific things, then you're borderlining what harassment might be, right? So, for example, if every day I turn on my stream and the same people come and kill me every single day, and prevent me from playing the game, I would argue that that's harassment, right? And I've never reported anybody. Actually, I reported one person. It was Scarlet, because it was getting like insane, and nothing happened from it. So like, I have zero confidence that CIG gives a shit. And then on top of it, there was it was Scarlet. I can't remember, dude, but I remember it being really fucking annoying. And this was like 8 years ago. It was like insane. It was like right when 3.0 started. But the idea of like it constantly being a problem is a thing. Now, I will say that we're kind of borderlining being a little bit weird here, where it's the same group of people constantly targeting this, streamer events. But I don't think that that's the line. I think it's kind of like, that's pretty fucked up. But I don't see that crossing a line. I don't think it's even necessarily coming up to the line, because every streamer event is announced on Twitter. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then GrieferNet shows how shitty Star Citizen is in the first place, and how not, friendly of a game it actually is, right? A lot of the members of the community are very friendly, but goddamn, man, thank God someone's showing how bad the game is from I think a lot of people think that Star Citizen is something that it's not, and they're showing that it's something completely different, right? And what needs, where's the ball? Where's the ball now? It's in CIG's court. They need to make a law system that works. They need to make a situation that works for everybody. And everybody is PvPers, PKers, pirates, and players who are not looking for any PvP interactions as well, right? So we need a better law system. We need a better game. We need all those things, and they need to really, really think about that. And if you think just instancing the griefers away is the right solution, no, make a good game. That's the right solution, right? And that's where I'm at with that. So let's read his summary. In summary, yes, the players or streamers must secure their event against normal PvP and have to deal with piracy and other intended PvP gameplay. So then what was this about? Yes, CIG should also secure official events. What makes an event official? Because they promoted it a little bit? Come on, bro. Please. This is getting weird. And I think CIG needs to maybe chill with promoting events like these, because how many non-promoted CIG events are getting attacked as well? Are they not okay? This is getting ridiculous. Okay, I don't care how many viewers you have. That is ridiculous to say. No one should support griefing, but should clearly support a fair coexistence so that the game, but also the community, becomes great. CIG needs to ban and stop griefers and stream snipers. Again, stream snipers can be out of there. Griefers, we need to define more, probably. In the long run, the problem should hopefully solve itself. Yep, we should have started that with that one. We must not forget it's one of the most important tasks of the developer and his support staff to enforce the terms of service. Yeah, in a real game that actually has like people that they hire to enforce the terms of service, which there are no GMs in this game. Right? We don't have any game masters because we don't have a game. Fuck this, I'm going back to Rust. Yeah, I mean, where everybody kind of gets it, I want to be at a game. I want to be in a game where everyone gets it. And in this game, nobody gets it. I think the griefers are going too far and really risking their accounts, which they're probably not risking any accounts with any sort of, real money into them. They probably have alt accounts, which they, fucking, faked a bunch of money into the game, gave themselves money, and then bought chips in game or whatever. So, yeah. And I did that, Icy. So if you're mad, you could talk to me. But you're a twat as well, for your comments. I don't think anybody cares to hear you say things like that. All right. So people are stupid, and I'm tired of the game being in a bad state. We need to direct our frustration towards the game and towards the company, and they need to address these issues. Okay? And the issues are that players do want a place to convene and to hang out and to run fun events. I do direct your frustration towards streamers. I think that's what you guys do. And kind of this post is the reason why you do that, is because look at the entitlement that you see from streamers that do these things. In the end, the idea of any of this is ridiculous. It is a Star Citizen problem exclusively. They open the door for griefers to be griefers. They open the door for players to not have a place to feel safe or to run a little fun event with their friends. Okay? And you have to be able to do both. And the thing about griefing is always like finding the line and maybe just crossing it or coming up to it. But what CIG has really never done is created actual places where PvP is supposed to exist and places where it's not, right? Like Chris said in that video. I think, if you look at a lot of 10 for the Chairmans, they've worked towards a lot of the things that he said they want to have in the game. That's one thing that I feel like they haven't done a good job of. We have armistice zones that are very weird. We have armistice zones that are, you can shoot in, that you can't shoot in. All very weird stuff. So, yeah. It's fix the game.